Hi, welcome to Spice Up Your Winter. Let me tell you a little bit about our winter reading program. If you go to our website, you can sign up for Beanstack, which helps you track your minutes. If we as a community read 20,000 minutes, we will put up one little free library in our community. We'll put up to the 3 of them around our area. Little free libraries are a book sharing box. If you take one, you can give one. That way, many people can have access to books. We'll be doing these cooking classes in January and February. Our next one, we'll be making taco seasoning. But today we're going to do drinks that'll keep you warm. When it's cold and snowy outside, make these amazing and yummy drinks. Today we'll be making Peppermint Mocha, Spice Chai Latte, and Mexican hot chocolate. For our first drink today, we're going to be making Peppermint Mocha. But let's talk about the 3 different kinds of coffee drinks. Have you ever walked into a coffee shop and not known what you want to order? Well, I'm going to help you out a little bit. The first kind of coffee drink is a latte. It's 1/3 espresso and 2/3 steamed milk. What we're making today is a mocha, which is a latte, but where you add chocolate. A cappuccino is 1/3 espresso, 1/3 steamed milk, and 1/3 milk foam. So now you know. We'll be making this recipe together today. I'm going to post the recipe here in a minute. The first thing I did though was I made the espresso ahead of time, just using hot water and instant espresso. I always make mine a little stronger because I love the taste of coffee. So here we go. For our next drink, we're going to be making Spice Chai Latte. I checked out a book on Hoopla, which is a free digital download that you can get by going to our website. All books and movies on there are free and there's unlimited access to them. This book was called Chai by Diana Rawson. How did this fascinating spice tea develop in India? One legend says that a chef for a royal king of India created this tea by scenting it with luxurious fragrance of spices from his kitchen, cloves, nutmeg, and cardamom. The king, entranced by the unique taste of his chef's specialty, announced that this drink could only be served in his court and forbade the chef to divulge its ingredients. Long after the king's death, however, the recipe filtered down from royalty to aristocracy and then to the masses, with each group adding and deleting spices to its taste, including cinnamon, pepper, fennel, and more. No matter where it began though, it's clear that the spice tea of India can intrigue anyone. So let's get started. First, you need to make the spice mixture. It calls for cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, ginger, and black pepper. Cardamom is a harder spice to find, so I looked up a substitute. You can do half nutmeg, half cinnamon to replace that. And so that's what I did. I pre-mixed it. So now, let's get started on the recipe. For our last drink, we're going to be making Mexican hot chocolate, which does have a little spice to it. Here's the history of hot chocolate. Between 3,000 and 4,000 years ago, cacao plants were first cultivated in Mesoamerica by Olmec, living in southern Mexico. Rather than eating chocolate in solid form, however, the nibs from the cacao plant were ground into a paste and mixed with water to make a chocolate drink. It was found to be an energy booster and mood enhancer. These positive nutritional effects led the Olmec to believe the drink possessed mystic qualities, so it was generally reserved for important figures at sacred ceremonies. The Olmecs passed the chocolate drink on to the Maya civilization, which passed it on to perhaps the beverage's most famous historical forefathers, the Aztecs. Legendary Aztec leader Montezuma was known to demand cacao beans from conquered people and supposedly drank goblet after goblet of hot chocolate every day. Besides his own enjoyment of the beverage, he only allowed those who contributed military service to drink chocolate. When Cortez and his soldiers encountered the Aztec, one of his men wrote about Montezuma's consumption of the curious cacao-made drink, and how the Spanish themselves were also served the beverage all frothed up. Ultimately, Cortez conquered the Aztec and brought the popular drink to Spain, from which it spread throughout Europe and eventually the world.